But speaking of Tommy Fury, do you think he'll actually fight Tommy Fury in his next fight?
Jake Paul is a novice. Like, he needs more and more fights before he fights the likes of Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is a professional boxer. He comes from a boxing background. Jake, he's a YouTuber and he's learning. He's learning. But I feel that if he was to go in the ring right now, the likes of Tommy Fury or anybody else in the professional boxing, game over. Game over. I mean, put it this way: everybody he's fighting, they're either an MMA fighter or YouTuber, somebody that he knows he's got an advantage over. There's no way Jake is going to fight the likes of Canelo. Well, not now anyway. He's not going to fight Tommy Fury. If he does, then boy. But I can't see that happening. Not yet.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. I can't see it happening. But the reason why I can't personally see it happening is not even based on the whole situation of Jake Paul being a novice and with obviously Tommy Fury being the pro boxer who's obviously had more experience. I just felt that Tommy Fury needed to, have an explosive win, maybe a knockout to really cause a bit of a stir for the media to, build up this match between both fighters, because Tommy Fury ultimately should have gone to the States, got the job done like Daniel Dubois, and, put more of a statement out there for him to warrant a fight against Jake Paul. Because at the end of the day, for me, as much as you might not like his sort of character, but for me, he's done the job to be a prize fighter in this division. And he's obviously done a fantastic job to maintain that statement of being that YouTuber who's changing the world.
I feel that Tommy Fury, when he fought Anthony Taylor, I think it was just a warm-up for him, I think maybe it was just a game plan, just to make Jake Paul think, Tommy Fury's probably easy. Because bear in mind, Tommy Fury's only had, is this his fifth fight, right? Professional fight?
Sixth, I believe.
Yeah. So I think it's part of the game plan, but he got the win. So if anything, Jake Paul should think, I can fight Tommy. I've got confidence now. Let me fight. But his management team will advise him, don't do it, Jake. If anything, fight the likes of maybe Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I've heard about that rumor. I just don't know if McGregor necessarily wants to fight Jake Paul, even though I think it would be definitely a big spectacle and it would definitely give a huge payday for both fighters. And now I think McGregor was listed as the number one, as I think he's the richest athlete according to Forbes or something like that. So I guess it's not necessarily a desperate move by him, but I think he is a free agent from the UFC, I think at the end of the year, I believe. So that's a thing to kind of look out for, I believe. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure he's a free agent. But again, we'll see what happens there. I do think he wants to fight Poirier one more time and hold the belt at least one more time, but we'll see what ends up happening there. But again, and there was a few things I took away from the fight, but I don't know, the fight kind of was similar, and this is kind of a shot in the dark, and I know it's a little crazy to mention, but if you remember when Pacquiao and Mayweather fought back, I think it was in 2015.
Yeah.
When I saw the fight, I thought Pacquiao had more powerful punches, but he didn't throw as many as Mayweather did. And I kind of felt like that was the fight between between Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley. Paul had more punches, but Woodley technically had more powerful punches. But I don't know, did you guys kind of have a similar feel to that fight back in 2015?
Yeah, most definitely. I felt that fight could have either gone either way. But honestly, I got that same vibe. I'm not gonna lie. Bienja, what do you think?
I think the fight was overhyped. Well, they had to just sell tickets, but it could have been. I was expecting to see a knockout. A knockout. That's what I was expecting to see. Something explosive, like boom. But who knows? There's a possibility that they may do it again. There's a slim chance, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah, I would love to see that, to be honest with you. I think Woodley wants to, but I think Woodley might need to have one more professional boxing fight with another person before he fights Jake Paul again, just so he has the experience. Because you kind of saw that there was a little lack of experience with Woodley. But I mean, okay, did you have anything else to add there, Trey?
No.
Okay.
agreeing with exactly what you're saying. You're absolutely spot on.
Okay. Yeah, it was interesting to see though, because Woodley is a better fight, had a pretty good showing what he showed on Sunday night. I think the lack of experience, you definitely saw that in round 4 when he didn't take advantage when Jake Paul was in the ropes. But I don't know. I think both fighters are better than we like to give them credit for, but I don't know. We'll end up seeing. And there's another matchup too that I think could be interesting. Or actually, who do you think would be the next best matchup for Jake Paul?
Ooh.
I think Jake Paul and Jake Paul, KSI, or Jake Paul and Conor McGregor. Those two.
For me, because he's obviously fought his brother has to try and get revenge. So it's KSI for me. I want to see that fight. I want to see KSI get back to camp, just get away from the music, get into camp and, get in that fight with Jake Paul. I definitely feel we'll do numbers, especially in the UK. And it's YouTubers, 2 YouTubers battling out for that title. So I think they should make some sort of legitimate championship on the line as well, just to make it a bit juicy. The undisputed YouTuber, just something that would just bring a little twist in the fight. So KSI would be the main opponent for me. What do you think?
I think that would be interesting. And again, I was talking to that same friend that I was talking to is actually a podcaster I was talking to as well. But he actually mentioned that KSI could be the next opponent. I think he also talked about Kamaru Usman being maybe a matchup. I know Usman and Paul were talking back. I think it was either May or June. That they were kind of talking smack to each other. But Usman would be interesting, but KSI, I don't really think much about KSI because again, he fought with Logan Paul twice and he won, and then they had a draw the next time they fought. That would be interesting. And I don't know, you mentioned they should make a belt like the YouTube. I don't know, what weight class would that be? Would that be
cruiserweight, wasn't it?
Cruiserweight?
Yeah, I believe
cruiserweight.
Cruiserweight, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe it's cruiserweight. But the only thing is, sorry to cut it,
as well.
KSI has been inactive, so I feel that Paul will have more advantage at the moment. So I don't think that should happen that shouldn't happen next. I think that fight should happen later on next year.
Yeah, I think you're right as well. And it's good. I just kind of want to see Jake Paul get humbled. I understand he's a decent fighter, but I just get so annoyed with his, antics, off and on and off the ring. It gets a little annoying, but he is a better professional fighter than we give him credit for. It's just, if he actually fought a real boxer, then we would see how good of a fighter he really is. And just, it doesn't seem like he's going to fight someone his own size for a while until he gets up to speed or whatever. But eventually I think he will be humbled. I don't know what fighter that's going to be. So, I mean,
he could potentially fight his brother.
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I did get. Oh, sorry. You can continue with that.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, would you get in the ring with your bro?
I mean,
guys, that question is directed for both of you. Would you get in the ring with your brother?
Nah, I wouldn't. Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
No.
Like I said, I did hear something about the Jake Paul and Logan Paul fight, but it doesn't seem Logan Paul is as dedicated to boxing as much as Jake Paul, which is interesting because Logan Paul was the one that started this when he fought KSI the first time, and all of a sudden he's fought 2 or 3 times. I guess the Mayweather fight didn't matter. That was kind of a waste of money. But I thought that, again, Jake Paul or Logan Paul doesn't seem as motivated boxing as much as Jake Paul does. And I think it's more of a Jake Paul thing. I don't think they'd fight either. I think there's too much of there's just too much of a friendship, I guess I would say, between the two. I don't necessarily think there's something that they really want to go against each other, but I think it would definitely sell some pay-per-views. That's for sure.